Hello there and welcome. Well, I don't know if you're like me, but if you have tried to play Path of Exiles before and you felt a little confused by it, or thought it was a bit too confusing or difficult or overwhelming, well, that's what happened to me. But I kept going for it and I actually enjoy the game by now. I haven't gotten really far yet, but maybe I can show you a little bit about how to get started, or what to do in the beginning. And so I'm gonna start a new character, and I'm gonna start with the standard league and go with that. And let's say we want to make an archer, a ranger. So let's see, let's just type in a basic name, and at first you really don't have a lot of abilities. It's pretty much like Diablo and stuff, and it can be rather difficult. So we have a bow now, and we have one attack, the default attack with DPS of 12.9, and we also have some flasks. Small life flask with 2 of them. We can later get new ones and bigger ones as well. We've got a mana flask. So if you have played a Diablo game, this is pretty basic. So on the left, you've got your life, we've got 57 HP, and on the right we have the mana, and that is pretty much the stuff that you have at the beginning. So let's talk to this guy, and he is just gonna turn into a zombie. And let me see. There's a tutorial, and here is our first ability. These are gems, right? And this one will give us an ability. It's Burning Arrow, attack, projectile, fire, bow. So it's a projectile attack doing fire damage used with a bow. It costs 7 mana to use. It has an attack speed of 70 of base. It has an attack damage of 200 of base damage. It requires level 1. And the explanation is it fires a burning arrow that deals fire damage and has a chance to ignite. So you can set enemies on fire. So how do you use this now? You just put it into one of the green... I'm gonna skip the tutorials now. One of the slots has to be the right color. This is a green gem, so we need a green slot. And you can also remove it, and once you get a better bow, you can put that in there. And now you can see a new ability appeared in my action bar, and it's automatically assigned to the right mouse button, but I can also assign it to other buttons. For example, if I wanted to assign it to the 1 key or to the space bar, I can do that as well. But let's stick with the basic layout. So here I've got my basic attack on the left mouse button and the new attack on the right one. So let's go, and this is pretty much the same as it is in Diablo, where you hold the shift key and then you attack standing in place. So you saw it took some damage there, so I changed the key bindings a little bit. I have to hold the shift key for a heal, and shift 1 and shift 2 are my flask, shift 5 is my mana flask, and your flask refill when you kill enemies. So let's do that. There we go, ignited him, set him on fire. And if we run out of mana, we're gonna use a flask. Bunch of enemies here. And those are pretty easy. We can try to keep them at a distance. These sand spitters can be a bit annoying because they will do a ranged attack on you, but also they will move around a lot, so sometimes it's even hard to hit. And here we go. I'm gonna press the Z key, which turns on the loot, so I can always see the loot. I could press the Alt key to see loot on the floor, but now I've got that automatically assigned so that any loot that I find shows up here. So what do we have now? I looted another flask, and you see it's now available. And once again, you can later replace it with other flasks you'll find. And I looted some greaves. Nothing good here. You can already see from the color, it's like a gray item name. So if you're familiar with the stuff like you see in, I don't know, World of Warcraft or Diablo, that means really low quality. We just looted another gem, and this is a support gem. So it's attack support duration. Supports attack skill that aren't triggered. Gain 1 momentum when you use a supported skill. And you can see the supported skill on the left side of the window. It says Burning Arrow. So when I use Burning Arrow, I will gain 1 momentum. I gain 1 momentum every 0.7 seconds while channeling a supporting skill. Lose all momentum if you move. Supported skills have a 15% increased attack speed per momentum. When you retrieve momentum, lose all momentum and gain swiftness. So basically, when I stand in place and I use my Burning Arrow, I gain more momentum, and that does also do more damage than that skill. So I equipped that. I had another green slot, so I could use that now. And so let us move on. There we go. And the buff, the momentum buff, we saw that in the upper left corner. I think that's it at least, yeah. There we go. So I use that skill and gain more momentum, and it does more damage until I move. And so yeah, I just looted a plate vest. It's automatically attacked. You can see I have 3 red slots now where I can put skills in. And also I looted some scrolls of wisdom. I'm going to talk about those in a second. Those are really important. There we go. So we're just making our way along the beach. And now we gotta kill the big guy. He fortunately is rather slow. Now he equipped another weapon. So let's move. It's pretty easy to dodge his attacks. Just use my potion again. And since he was on fire, he died without me even hitting him right at that moment. And I gained a level. And now don't be afraid when you see this. This is my skill tree. Amazing, right? Well, a guild will get you started and point you in a direction. For us, I think dexterity is really important for the ranger, and I can pick now what I would like to do. Plus 30 to accuracy rating and plus 16% increased projectile damage, or evasion rating and maximum life. And you can just follow along and see if I go that way, I will get more evasion rating. If I go that way, I'll get more dexterity, which is really important. And here I will do more damage. And I can of course choose different paths. For example, I could put a point here, giving me more dexterity. And I'm picking that one. And you see, this is really complicated, but you can eventually reset stuff if you're made a mistake. For now, we're just going to try to get a bit more dexterity, a bit more damage, and I will probably also invest into the evasion rating. Now, just to make sure, as I said before, I am not a total pro with this game. I'm not one of these legendary guys who's been playing this game ever since 2013. There's still a lot that I have to learn myself, but I'm just trying to take you along and show you how I got into this game and what I learned. Because when I looked up some beginner guides, I thought even the beginner guides were really, really complicated. So this is our first hub. And here we have a waypoint allowing us to teleport. It will also show us a map. We are right here now at the Lion's Eye Watch. And next we have to go here, indicated by the question mark. We can talk to these people here. Nessa, she's a vendor. She will also give us a quest. She's telling us to talk to Bestel. Let's talk to Tagli first, and he will give us one of these rewards. And it can either give us a split arrow, fires multiple arrows at different targets. Sounds pretty good. He will give us an ice shot. We have to pick which one we take. Fires an arrow that converts some physical damage to cold. Frost blades attack enemies with increased range, releasing ice blades from the first enemy, which fly at other enemies. Requires a melee weapon. We don't have that. Galvanic arrow releases arrows along with a burst of lightning, which damages all enemies in a cone. The arrows degrade in flight as the lightning dissipates, soon vanishing. And caustic arrow fires an arrow which does chaos damage in an area of impact and spreads caustic ground. Enemies standing on caustic ground take chaos damage over time. This sounds pretty good. Problem is right now that we don't have another slot. And here you can see we've got another bow, and it does about the same amount of damage. The problem is it has one green slot, one blue, one red, so we couldn't use these. How about we, for now, put in the caustic arrow. You see that my that the whole thing has changed now. Caustic arrow is assigned to my spacebar now, and the burning arrow is still assigned to the right mouse button. Let me do this. I'm gonna assign the caustic arrow to the 1 key. And now there's something really important here. Let me talk to Bestel. So I'm supposed to find a medicine chest on Tidal Island. And now let's talk to Nessa, because she is selling more of these gems, and she's selling them for scrolls of wisdom. So let us see, we do have 2 red ones, and this right here, perforate, smash the ground to bring forth multiple spears to damage enemies. And I do believe, I don't think it's a melee skill. We can see that in the upper. It does physical attack and AoE as a slam, and it has is a melee skill. So that probably wouldn't work. What else do we have? We have 2 red slots, and that's it for now. But as you can see, there are many more. We can now get Ice Shot, which are the skills that the other guy was offering us as a quest reward. And so we could buy them now. And as a matter of fact, let me buy this right now. We can't equip it right now, but that's fine. Can also buy other stuff from her, but we don't have... I think we do have those items, because this is my stash, like my chest that you have in Diablo as well, and it's shared. And my other character gathered all the stuff. He also gathered a pretty cool bow, but I can't use that because I need much more dexterity for that. But I could take these items now and actually buy better gear from the vendor. I'm not gonna do that though, because, you know, if you're just starting out, this is not what you will find. So what do we have? We have our stash, and we have a new ability, the caustic arrow, and you now see this bar here. And this bar is the gem, the caustic arrow gem is leveling right now, and I can upgrade it once the bar is filled. So I've got my own XP, which lets me level, but also I have I can level those gems, and then the abilities get stronger. So, next I am supposed to travel to the Tidal Island and find the medicine chest. So let us travel around, and this was the first time that I died when I played this game, the last time when I started over. So, let us explore a little bit. And see what we find. Enemies here are pretty, a little faster than they were in the first one. So let's use our new skill. There we go. And so I would be rather careful from now, because we're pretty squishy right now. So I don't want to get killed that quickly. And as you can see, I am already using my new abilities. My mana is low though. I almost died here. So I'm gonna be more careful. I'm healing, and as you can see now, my first two abilities, Burning Arrow and Caustic Arrow, have leveled. So now I can upgrade them, and they'll be a bit stronger now. Pretty cool, right? So here are more of these annoying gravel thingies. Alrighty. So now I can just go and explore this area. And try to find the title island. And you will probably have to run around and actually explore the whole map, kill everything that's on the map. Enemies do not respawn for, I think, 15 minutes. So if I would leave this map for 15 minutes, it would reset probably. That's at least what I read in the chat. And I've had several occasions where I went back to a map and it was covered again. You know, there was a fog of war there. And I had to uncover it again. Shouldn't stand in the fire, right? So, no mana again. I guess I should try to eventually get to the point where I unlock more mana through the skill tree. But for now, I'm gonna just run around carefully, trying to be careful with my pulls. You can eventually pull out some really cool stuff in this game, where you like pull whole groups of enemies and then use a lot of AoE stuff to kill them. But for now, since we're still in the beginning and squishy, we should avoid that. So what I could do right now is let me remove the new ability. Let me put in the split arrow. Let me assign that to the one key. And just click on one of the keys, and then I can pick whatever ability I want to assign to it. Oh, lots of enemies. So let's see. Yeah. It does use quite a bit of mana, but I think it's not as much as with the fire arrow. And I'm hitting in a cone, so that's pretty cool for enemy groups. Right. There are also like elite enemies, which are like blue. You've seen that in Diablo, or golden. Are tougher. They have like specific buffs, which you have to adjust to, and some of them are really tough. There we go. There is one of these bosses. Now I gotta be really careful here. And that was just a lot of luck that I leveled there. She's really annoying, I have to say. And what's even more annoying is the amount of enemies coming in, the amount of ads, because that's caused by me running around so much. But I'm doing that in order to avoid getting hit. So for now, I'm gonna try and get rid of the enemies. And I might die here. Yeah, I did. So if I do resurrect at a checkpoint, it will put me back at the beginning of the level, but the good part is that the enemies I have killed have not respawned. So let's see. Let me go for a bit more evasion rating and a bit more life. So I assigned a skill point to that. Now I'm gonna go and try and get back. I was moving around a lot because, you know, this is not a melee character, so I have to avoid getting hit. And so I try to stay at range. Okay. The cool part is, even if, you know, these items that I'm looting right now are gray, I can later get items which will allow me to upgrade them. Let me pull her away. Ouch. And not getting greedy. Yes. Alrighty. That's some more loot. You can see next to the name you see these little dots or little squares, red and blue, so it tells me on, you know, I can immediately see what slots they have. So let's take a look. We found a new quiver, and that adds 1 to 4 physical attack damage to my attacks. I can't equip now because I'm not high enough in level. And some other stuff. For example, a sword, a wand, and a medium life flask. I can actually equip that now. So let me put it that way. Medium life flask on slot 1, and then smaller life flask there. Okay, so I can level the ability again. And we made it. I still have to find the island, but we killed another tougher enemy. Things will get easier eventually. I mean, there still is some challenging stuff in there while you're leveling, and so far I'm only leveling. But once you get some of the first abilities, once you get your action bar filled up, there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do to keep enemies away from you, or do different elemental damage. Alright. And I'm sure, you know, more experienced players could give even more great advice for the beginning. On the map you can see now that there is a lore item there. Something like a scroll or a book that I can click on. Get more backstory. So let's get that. And I also see that we have another teleport pad coming up. Waypoint. Alright, so what we can do now is actually we can go back to Lion's Eye Witch and sell some of her stuff. For example, to Nessa. So I'll drop that stuff in there, and in exchange she's gonna offer me some crafting materials. And these are just fragments, like shards, and if I combine them I can actually get some things that will allow me, for example, to change the color of the slots on my equipment, or to reroll the amount. I'll show you some of these before before I conclude this first video on Path of Exile leveling. So let's take a look. As I said, the Scroll of Wisdom is pretty important because that will allow you to buy some stuff from the vendor. It will also allow you to identify items that are not identified yet. So that's pretty handy. And I put on these greaves, even though I don't have the gems. That's going to be fine. And here are some of these items. Orb of Fusing, for example, reforges the links between sockets of an item. Armor Scrap improves the quality of an armor. Then we have Orb of Alchemy, upgrades a normal item to a rare item, and I'm just going to show you that. No, it's a little cheating because we wouldn't probably own that quite yet. And now you can see that my bow has leveled. It's rare now. It's got the same amount of slots. It does more damage now, and it has gotten some extra modifiers like 66% increased physical damage, adds 3 to 7 fire damage, 10% increased critical strike chance, gains 6 life per enemy killed. That's pretty good. So let me put in the special abilities again and re-equip the bow. And let's see what that looks like. For example, with this armor, I can, for example, reforge the colors of sockets. So let's do that. That didn't work. Here now we've got a green and a red one. So what I can do now, I can put that in there. I can also upgrade it. Normal item to rare item. Now it's a plate vest. Has cold resistance, lightning resistance, increased stun and block recovery, reflects 2 physical damage to melee attackers. I could also reroll these. Reforges a magic item with new random modifiers. These are rare items. Magic items are like the ones with a blue title. And so, for example, what I could do, could upgrade this bow. And if I don't like the values that I see there, I could just go and change it. You know, change these modifiers, reroll them. But I'm not going to do that now. So, what else do we have? Orb of Scouring removes all modifiers. Whispering Essence of Woe upgrades a normal item to rare with 1 guaranteed property. Properties restricted to level 35 and below. So these are all upgrade items that allows you to alter your gear and improve it. So if you find like a piece of armor that has slots that you find good, you know, that you need for the skills that you want to use, you can upgrade it to a different quality and stuff. Pretty handy. Alrighty, so what else can we do? I can now put the caustic arrow on here. Let me see if there's any red gem that I could get, because these I didn't take from the chest. I looted them after I started playing. Nothing yet that we can use. So let us sell the bow, those boots, and that's that. And now what I could do is I could just go and go back to the coast, to this waypoint that I just found on the beach, and continue from there. But I am not going to do that. I'm going to close this video for now. I hope this maybe helped you to, you know, learn the ropes and get started. After you find the first few abilities, things will get easier and more fun. And of course, I know that the skill tree does look pretty overwhelming at first. But if you take your time to read it, if you maybe look up like an easy build, beginner build or something, or if you just, you know, look at what you need. For example, if you feel like you're too squishy, maybe you want to go for more life. If you feel like you're not doing enough damage, or, you know, not fast enough, you can go that way. You can just take a look. For example, here, you can even raise your intelligence, because for some weapons you also need some intelligence. Or you can try to go for these certain nodes here, like weapon artistry, aspect of the eagle, increased damage with bows and stuff. So that would be nice to go there. So I would probably try to go this way and get to that ability. I recommend to take your time and you know, to just enjoy playing. I do I'm not really worried about like having like an amazing endgame build or something because I'm still leveling and I'm enjoying it a lot. So maybe this will encourage you or help you on your way to get into the game and start enjoying it. I hope it does. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.